guys, it's Ginger. I am here with a review. And I know you're probably like, okay, like everybody and their brother and their mother and the kitchen sink haven't done a review about this one. But I thought I would give my opinion on it. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. I've been wearing it for several months now, so I just wanted to give you my opinion. Now, I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. One of the first foundations that I wore when I was a teenager was an Estee Lauder foundation. It came in a squeeze tube. It was called Tender Matte, if I remember correctly. And I even mentioned it to the lady that I bought this from, and she said she recalled there being a makeup called Tender Matte, but it was discontinued. I wore it for a long time. My mom actually wore it too. We both enjoyed that particular foundation. And it was discontinued probably, I think when I was in college, because I wore it for a good long time. And then I tried several various different kinds of foundations. And yeah, you know, tried drugstore, tried other type of things, Merle Norman, stuff like that. Merle Norman always oxidizes on me and makes me look like an Oompa Loompa. So, then they had brought back that makeup for a short while, but they changed the formula on it. Estee Lauder brought back the Tender Matte. I went and bought it. It was like rubbing mud on your face. Like, that sticky, if anybody lives in an area where they have stuff called gumbo, it's a sticky red mud. It was like rubbing that junk on your face. It was gross. So I stopped wearing it. So I hadn't worn Estee Lauder in years. And the last 15 or more years, I'd been wearing MAC's Studio Fix Powder plus foundation. It was easy, it gave good coverage and things like that, but I started wearing that in my late 20s, I guess, and it did fine for me in the late 20s through the 30s, but then when I started creeping towards my 40s, well, I mean, I'm already in my 40s. When I got into my 40s, my skin started to change. Surprise to me. It always had very, very oily skin. Very oily. Like, there was a time where even I had oily eyelids and I would feel the oil try and drip in my eyes. That's how oily my skin was at one point. Anyway, so for whatever reason, age or whatever, my skin is a lot more dry than what it used to be. Because let's look at let me look at the mirror here. Yeah, I've been wearing this makeup since, what time did I put it on? 8 o'clock this morning, and it's 3 o'clock now. Yeah. So, and I just have a little bit of shininess. Let me look at it again. I have a little bit of shininess on the top of my nose and right here on the sides of my nose. Little shininess on the chin, not too much. My forehead isn't shiny at all, and used to, that was one of the things that would get the shiniest the quickest, would be my nose, would be basically the T-zone area. The forehead, the nose would just, but my entire face would always be very oily. But as I've gotten older, my skin type has changed. I'm more on the normal to dry side now. Like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's age. I don't know what. Anyway, so that powder foundation from MAC that I'd been using just wasn't doing the trick anymore. Because I was starting to get more dryness. It started to look patchy and things like that. So probably hasn't even been quite a year ago, I decided to try the Estee Lauder Double Wear because so many people have been talking about this on YouTube. I thought, well, if so many people are talking about it, maybe I should try it. Well, you could go to an Estee Lauder counter, and I just so happen to have this. You can go to an Estee Lauder counter and get a little sample vial like this. And the woman, and this empty, if there was a light shining behind it, you'd be able to see that it's empty. But one of these little vials, the lady actually gave me 2, but one of these lasted me 3 months, I think. And so I was able to test it really well before I decided to take the leap, because this is like $37, I think. I'll put the price on here, down here at the bottom if I'm wrong, but it's like in the neighborhood of $37. So, you know, it's more expensive than the MAC, because I think the MAC was in the neighborhood of like $27. This is more expensive. But this it does not take much. Like I said, this little bitty vial lasted me probably 3 or 4 months. So it does not take much at all. This is, I know I see a lot of people do reviews on these and they're like, oh, it's full coverage, it's full coverage, it's full coverage. This is actually medium to full coverage, but you can build it up. But like I said, it does not take much at all, because sometimes you can get just a little too heavy in areas like right in here. You gotta really be careful. Anyway, so I really like this. For a while, I used the Estee Lauder Matte Perfecting Primer. Excuse me, it's probably dusty because I haven't used it in a while. Anyway, I used the Matte Perfecting Primer with it to sort of beat back any shininess I might have, and it worked really well. But I stopped using it probably about a month ago, or a little more than a month ago by the time you see this, because when I was on vacation, being in different climates, using different types of water, it seemed like my skin was getting more dehydrated. So I stopped using that primer, and it works perfectly well for me without a primer. Without any kind of primer, because like I said, I'm wearing it right now. I'm not wearing any kind of primer on it. I did use, after I was finished, I did use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray on it, just to get rid of any kind of powderiness on my skin. But using this, which is it's fairly matte on its own, plus I powder it with the MAC Prep and Prime translucent powder. Right now I have the pressed version because I ran out of the loose version. I actually prefer the loose version, but this is the transparent, not translucent, transparent finishing powder, the pressed version. And it does a really nice job of, you know, setting it and everything. So, and then I use the Urban Decay to get rid of any sort of flat powderiness that it might have. But as you can see, I've been wearing it since 8 o'clock this morning. It's 3 o'clock now, so what is that, 6 hours? Yeah, about 6 hours that I've been wearing it, and it still looks really good. I hope it's just me, but it looks like I went a little crazy with the blusher today. Sorry. Psh, hello, blush. Woo, Clown City. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying this. If you are interested in trying it out, like I said, it's about $37. Go down to the Estee Lauder counter, tell them you want a sample of it. They'll color match you, and they'll give you a generous sample of it. They may even give you 2 samples of it, like that woman did at the counter that I go to. And try it. The color I'm wearing is Cool Bone, 1C1 Cool Bone. The lightest that they have, because I am ghostly pale, honey. But like I said, go to the counter, ask them for samples of it. They'll probably even give you a sample of the primer. They have matte primer, and I think they also have an illuminating primer as well. So don't be scared to ask them for samples, because the Estee Lauder people will give you samples. Try it out for yourself. See how you like it. And And I'll tell you, I don't use any kind of special brush or anything like that to put on my foundation. I actually use the tools that God gave me. Use what my mama gave me. I use my fingers to put it on with. Because I've never really liked the way foundation goes on with a brush. I've never been able to do it without it looking streaky or something like that to me. So, and I feel like a lot less foundation gets wasted when you use your fingers, but that's just me. That's just me. So, go get yourself a sample, try it out. If you've tried it and you like it, or if you don't like it, let me know. You know, everybody's different. These are just my experiences. So, that is my review of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you enjoy these reviews, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so that you can come back and sit for a spell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.